Hi friends, welcome back to my training series. I hope you're doing well and hanging in there. Well, I think this is week 21 of this series. Of course, I took a couple weeks off here and there, but yeah, we're just kind of continuing on, documenting how things are going. Now that we're done with Cocodona, we're now about 7 weeks away from my next big running event, the Canadian Death Race. And so I'm going to keep on telling you about how things are going and how things are improving. So this last week was actually pretty good. I had a good time and I'm excited to tell you all about it. I had some good runs that felt really good, and I had a big long road trip, traveled halfway across the country, got to see some friends and see some cool places. It's been hectic and fun, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So let's get into it. First off, on Monday, I enjoyed a rest day, and I found out that a vehicle that I've been working on buying was ready to get picked up from a dealership in Kansas City, Missouri. So that led to a bunch of last-minute planning to drive 2,100 miles from Kansas City back home to Washington. This is something I'm pretty excited about. On Tuesday, I was assigned 45 minutes of easy running and walking. So I went to my local easy trails from my regular easy loop. Oh, and look, Mateo pops in with a timely question. How does it feel to run again? Mateo, this run felt better than any run I've done yet since Cocodona. I can really feel like the recovery's kicking in, and running is more fun when it feels good, and this run felt pretty good. I ran an easy 3.4 miles in 46 minutes. The running and movement felt great. Not the best ever, but a lot better than I've been, so I'm feeling very encouraged. And then in the afternoon, I did my weekly Zoom yoga class. On Wednesday, I was assigned some rowing and strength work, but I had to ignore those workouts because I had to get up really early for a last-minute early morning flight to Kansas City. In 2018, we had bought a cargo van that we used as a weekend adventure van and race vehicle. We loved it. We had so much fun with it. But in 2021, 2 nights before the inaugural Cocodona, that van was totaled in a freeway accident on a Phoenix freeway. Thankfully, we weren't hurt in the accident, and we were able to get a last-minute rental car for the race. But we've ever since, really wanted to replace that van. So after 3 years of wishing and saving, I picked up a Ford Transit van on Wednesday from a dealership close to the factory and started the 2,000-mile drive home. On Thursday, the road trip allowed me to stop in Fort Collins, Colorado, north of Denver. I had messaged my friend Chad Higgins, who's also known as See Chad Run here on YouTube, about meeting up for a run, and he was able to join me for a short one as I didn't have a lot of time. Oh my God, is that See Chad Run? Chad Higgins, let's hug. Great to meet you, man. It was really fun to meet Chad in person and talk and laugh as we hiked and ran. This was my first run above 5,000 feet since Cocodona, and I really felt it. All right, this is quite a long climb. I think I might, let's push boundaries. See what it might feel like to run with it.
Okay.
But don't worry, it won't be fast.
I'll follow your lead.
That part there, this part right here looks like it might be runnable for me.
It is. It does get a little steeper and a little more technical up top, but it's pretty fun to run down.
I love how often we were able to connect with other runners and feel comfortable and at ease with each other. It was a really fun time. Even though Chad and I had just met, we had a great run, and it was just a lot of fun. I kept thinking about it for a couple of days. Chad, thank you so much for taking the time and taking me to one of your usual training spots. It was a great run. And everyone else, please check out Chad's YouTube channel, which also includes his video of our run together. After we were finished running, I continued driving north to Wyoming so I could visit some friends there. On Friday morning, I woke up and went for a short run on my friend's ranch. In between the great views, my heart beat pretty hard as I hiked and ran up to 7,700 feet above sea level. I had a lot of fun, and the run actually felt really good. I felt more energetic than in previous weeks. It's starting to feel a little bit closer to normal. In addition to seeing some of the fun horses around the ranch, on my way back down, I saw some elk who were checking me out. It was really cool to watch the elk climbing back up the hills as they were on all fours going up super steep hills. It made me think about how training poles are so helpful going up steep hills. I think elk have built-in training poles. For Saturday, I was assigned 60 to 75 minutes of easy movement, but I needed to do some course recon for the Copper Kings 100 Fat Ass that's coming up later this month. There's a new section of the course that I had pieced together from some other runners' GPX files, but I hadn't run it in person yet, and I wanted to verify that it would work. Nope. Went too far. This looks more like the trail. Or even if you came down through there. It was fun to explore these trails and to get some GPS data to finish up the course map for the 2024 Copper Kings Fat Ass later this month. After the run, I did a couple more run-related chores in town, and then I drove the final 10 hours back home. Finally, on Sunday, I was assigned 1 hour of easy running and walking. I ran a lot more than I walked, and it still felt like I had a lot more energy than previous weeks. Overall, this week's running felt great, and after 4 weeks of recovery, I feel like my body is closer to being back at it, so I'm really happy about how I'm feeling. Oh, by the way, the colors you see in the Training Peaks weekly calendar is the Training Peaks compliance feature. Since I had some workouts that were assigned that I didn't do to the last minute travel, those workouts are shown on the map or on the calendar as red. And then on Saturday, I was out longer than the assigned workout, and so that one shows up as orange. The green workouts on Tuesday and Sunday show that my run met the workout parameters. Overall, I ran 24 miles this week with a total elevation gain of 3,400 feet, all in 5 hours and 38 minutes. But more importantly, I felt a whole lot better running this week. And so yeah, more energy and more enjoyment and more comfort. It's just great. Okay, I got some questions in the Q&A section this week. Thank you to everybody who sent in stuff. Josiah, who is a 50K runner, asks about weekly mileage, noting that my average mileage is similar to his, but he's wondering about transitioning to longer distance. Josiah, this is a great question. First off, I will repeat something that I've said in the similar contexts. If you can swing it, if you can afford it, if you can do it, I recommend a coach. I don't personally have a lot of time or even really the energy or inclination to learn how to create my own training plans. So I find for me personally, it was really effective, has been really effective to work with a coach. So I prefer that so they can personalize my plan and we can work together for whatever my running goals are. If you're interested to see how I did it or how my transition went, my current mileage isn't a good reflection on that. I would instead look to my training from 2018 when I was getting ready for the Mountain Lakes 100, which was my first 100 miler. And then in 2019, when I was getting ready for my first 200, the Moab 240. If you go back to my training log to those dates and then sort of go backwards from there, you can see how many miles I was doing. And back then I was doing a higher average than I am these days. So I think that would be more interesting for you to take a look at. These days I'm kind of in a bit more of a maintenance mode, kind of always training, getting ready for another big thing. And in these big long mileage efforts, I feel like I'm almost riding the wave of having this fitness for so long. And of course the mental confidence of having finished these races helps me along too. So I feel like my training is a little bit easier now because I'm kind of coasting off where I've been for a while. It's not exactly coasting, but when I look back at those workouts from 2018 and 2019, it does seem more intense than what I'm doing now. Anyway, check that out. The link is in the description below. Antonia asks how I carry my GoPro, if I use a chest strap or if I use a stick. Antonia, I use the GoPro Shorty mini extension pole tripod. That's a mouthful. It's this guy right here. It connects to your GoPro. It collapses to about that length. It can be a little bit longer to be taller if you want to use it as a tripod. Anyway, it's just terrific. I pull out the camera. Where is my camera? Well, anyway, I pull it out and point it at whatever I want to do. I have tried a chest strap before, but I don't really recommend it. You can't see the screen. Obviously, when you're shooting, you can't see what you're pointing at. Also, I found that the body bounce was more pronounced on the camera. It was less able to stabilize that, whereas when the camera is held in your hand is providing some automatic stabilization that from the pounding that your body puts into the camera when it's directly attached to you. The tripod's great because if you can set it on the ground, if you need to shoot something, you can point the camera where you want it to shoot, including back at yourself, so that you can talk to yourself, your future self, about how you're feeling, or your audience. It can be good to record the feelings as well as the views, because you're probably going to have some feelings. Good luck at Tahoe. I hope you have a good time, and I look forward to seeing your video. Hybrudo asks if I miss running during recovery, or if it feels good not to run. Well, I would say at first it does feel good not to run. I actually enjoy the physical and mental break from stepping aside from training for a little bit. But after a couple of weeks, I start to get kind of itchy and do start to miss running and want to get back to training again. So I would say it's kind of a bit of both. I definitely enjoy the break at the beginning because, kind of nonstop training does get tiresome. So yeah, it is nice to have a break. But as you can tell by my, I don't know, I feel so up today. I'm in a really good mood with how running's going. I'm definitely back into wanting to run again. Trails of an Old Runner asks if each 200 plus run is life-changing after finishing one. Well, I guess the first one or two were probably the most impactful. I mean, my first 200 was the Moab 240 in 2019, and I really feel like that changed everything. That changed my perspective about what I was capable of, gave me a lot of confidence knowing that I was so strong to be able to complete something like that. But my second 200 was the Cocodona 250 in the inaugural one in 2021. And I think that race really, it confirmed how much I enjoyed this distance and that I wanted to do it more. And so that was also quite life-changing because I think it set me on the path to continuing it. I think each race isn't necessarily life-changing. At least, my 10th one that I just finished last month wasn't necessarily life-changing, but it certainly confirms how much I love this and my love for the community and just everything about the whole thing. And it's such a shot of adrenaline and love and all kinds of good things that I'm glad I did it. I would prefer to be out there on the trail than not. So, and Trails of an Old Runner also asks if I will continue working with my coach. I certainly will. I started working with my coach, Corinne Malcolm, in 2017 when I was training for my first 50 miler, and we've worked together ever since. I have more running to do this year. I've got the Canadian Death Race coming up in August, and then the Divide 200 in September. And then from there, we'll continue on to get ready for next year, where I have Arizona Monster and Cocodona so far set up. But I guess the implication of the question is that would I stop using the coach because I'm done with my big event for now? I guess for me, my idea is that I'm kind of always training, and my coach is always personalizing my training based on how I'm feeling. So for me, it works great to just kind of sort of have this ongoing relationship at all times. Works well for me. Green Mountain Runner asks if I have a suggestion for contacts or glasses for running. Well, I do wear glasses for this, but I pretty much only have to wear glasses for reading, like this screen, like I'm doing right now, or my phone or my computers. I don't wear glasses when I'm out running. I actually do sometimes carry in my pack, in one of the front pockets, a crappy pair of reading glasses, just in case I need to read something on my phone and I'm not able to. But for the most part, when I'm out on the course, I'm able to read the maps on my phone just fine without glasses, so I don't generally need them. There have been times where I've been unable to read some numbers on my watch, though, and that kind of bums me out. But yeah, sorry I can't be of any help on this topic, but yeah, that's what's going on for me. These are just for reading. Lastly, Paula asks about my supportive wife, Leah, if she is also a runner. I am so lucky to have so much support from Leah. I know not everyone has a partner that is as understanding. When Leah and I first met, no, she wasn't into running, so I guess I did help introduce her to the sport. Since we've met, she's run 2 marathons, 2 50Ks, and a 50 miler, and she's currently training to do the Javelina 100K in October. So Leah's, and as far as crewing goes, Leah's first exposure to crewing was during my first 50 miler in 2017. We were both figuring it out together at that time, and we've just grown up together in the sport since then. So it's been a lot of fun to share so many running experiences with her, both when she crews me, but also when I've been able to crew her. So I'm really lucky to have such a supportive partner, and it's fun to support her and help and watch her grow as a runner too. So it's cool to do it together. Okay, thank you all for the questions this week. If you have a question you'd like me to think about, talk about, ramble about next week, please put it in the comments below. And yeah, I hope everything goes great for you as you look at the next week, and we will talk to you next week. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.